town.
Something's wrong. Where's Wilson?
What are they doing here?
They're selling, Mortimer.
Well, that's ridiculous. Unless that crop report...
God help us!
Hi, welcome to the Teachings of Mamie, and today we're looking at manifesting naturally and how you've already naturally learned how to do these things, manifesting in your life. And today's lesson is focusing on Gamestop and that short squeeze going on in that stock, because I've studied stocks and investing and all that for 35 years, and I've analyzed this up and down all around. And the problem is, an imbalance happened. And when things get out of balance, what happens? Wacky things happen. That's what. And here it comes in the market. You have 100 shares of stock, but they sold 140 shares of stock. Well, 40 of those shares don't exist. There's only 100 shares. So now they have to buy the shares back because you have to have two sides to a trade. Okay, and they sold them first up to 140 when there's only 100. And any good trader will tell you, there's a bottom when everybody's sold. There's nothing left to buy. It's got nowhere to go but up. And in this situation, they call that a short squeeze because they sold first. And you have to have two sides to a trade to complete the trade. So they sold it first. So they have to buy it now. Most people buy first and then sell. But these guys sold first. Okay? And they sold 140. There's only 100. So they're in a real pickle. Okay? And, somebody else noticed this. Somebody else with enough money to do something crazy and pointed it out to a Reddit group and stirred them up by saying you can break this evil hedge fund's back if you do this. And they don't realize they're throwing their money away, because if you don't finish the trade, there's no profit and there's no loss. Okay? But if you're just holding a stock of a bankrupt company, you have nothing to. Okay? And that's what happens. Because everybody's scrambling to buy it back. You're holding the stock. And, you're not selling it while this craziness is going on. You sell into the crazy. Okay? If you own GameStop, now's the time for you to sell into this craziness. Because they're desperate. Okay? And the market makers can't make a market if there's no sellers. There's nothing they can do about it. So the brokers go back to the people and say, there's nothing we can do about this. We're not doing these. If you want to close your trades, we'll do that. Okay? But for a lot of those people, the closing of the trade is they got to sell their call, and they've got they're on some mission that some guy put them on. You can break the hedge funds back, and that hasn't happened. Okay? And they want to see that. Okay? And this is taking it too far. You made money, take the money. Okay? This is getting emotionally involved and knee-jerking and responding. And you play those as a trader. You step back and you look at it and say, wow, look at those crazies. Let's sell a put. Okay. Did I do that? No. I'm not getting involved in that mess. That thing is messy. There's a devil running around in there. So, but it's, and I've seen that before, it's not a new thing. But it's instant communication now, so everybody learns about it, and they go out and tweet it and all that other stuff, and before you know it, it's gone around the world. We're one, and it's manifesting itself in all these different ways because you've been doing it all along. And when you trade, you sit down, you pull up your tools, the way you like to look at it, the market charts, the sentiments, the news, all that stuff. And, you get into it and you know that politics and government are going to affect how companies respond. And so that could affect what you're going into. So you want, what kind of stock do you want? For me, it was very easy. I didn't want to get into all the intricacies of it, but I did. I ended up doing that in my life. But really, I wanted to learn, how to buy a stock that's going to hang. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And they would always say, yeah, most stocks. Yeah, I remember Woolworth. I remember Memorex. No, which ones? So you come to learn, well, what do people really want and need? Okay, well, everybody wants magic, so Disney works. Okay, Disney to me is the ultimate stock. It's great, and you need communications. Pick one. There's a million. AT&T. You can pick Verizon. You can pick, there's a million of them. Consolidated Communications. I mean, there's a million of them. It just, you have to go and look and see which one really resonates with you. Do they pay you to be invested with them? If they pay a dividend, then that's extra cushion. These are the things you learn, that you study, that you come to understand. And then you start learning about sentiment and how it's psychological. And it's crowd psychology, which is different from individual psychology. Okay, you will act one way all by yourself, and you will act a different way in a crowd. And when you're playing in markets, you're in a crowd. Okay, there's no hedge fund, there's no mutual fund, there's no brokerage house, there's no bank in the world that is bigger than the market. That's impossible. None of them can manipulate the market for very long, unless they all collude together to do so. But even then, eventually it catches up with them. They just don't do it. Nobody does it. Everybody knows. The market is bigger than everybody else. But everybody else makes up the market. And this is humanity. Okay? Each individual is different. And together we're humanity. And together we're a crowd. Okay? And we're learning how to move and be together in a crowd. And that's where this social stuff comes from. So social. Your idea of good and bad is not the same as mine. So social really means social, like you're at a party. Would you talk the way you do on Facebook or Twitter or any other social media website the way you do at a party? Would you? 99.9% of the time is, oh, hell no. I wouldn't talk like that at a party. Well, why are you doing it here? You're in a crowd of people. You're not alone in your house, tip-tapping on your computer. You're interacting with everyone else. You're at a party. It's just electronic. Social. That's social. Justice. What is justice? What? Who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? You're not. You haven't walked in their shoes. You don't know. Be nice, like you're at a party. There is no justice. Okay? And warrior, go away. We're at a party. Okay? It's a party. Enjoy. If you don't like the conversation over there in that corner, move to another corner. You can block, you can mute, you can change what you want to see and hear. Take responsibility for your lives. what you're putting in your mind. Okay? That's what that is. And people who try to do this environmental scoring, the environmental social governance, ESG on stocks, who are you to decide? What's that criteria? You know, that you're good for the environment? What's that mean? You know, what does that mean? Seriously. Your carbon story? Well, that's a story. There's carbon everywhere. What makes you think you get to buy and sell it? You know? Huh? You know? Do we recycle? Yeah. You know, do we clean up after ourselves? Yeah. Are we responsible using filters and cleaning and finding new ways of generating electricity? Yeah. So don't listen to them. Who cares? You know? And that social, we've already explained. And then governance. Who are you to think you govern me? You don't govern me. You know, you don't have any authority over me. And you don't get to tell anybody else what to do. You know? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? I got the devil in me, and he's coming for you. You can't help yourself. You can't help yourself when people are being stupid fools. And when you look at life subjectively, you know, because you're stepping back and you're watching. You're like, look at those fools. Oh, look, got them going, didn't it? Yeah. And you learn this when you trade markets because you can't become emotionally involved in markets or you can't trade. You have to step back and look at it. You have to see where their emotions are going. You're taking their temperatures, okay? And you're like, oh, look. They are so happy over here. It's time to short that stock. You know, this was the signal in gold when I was doing my market analysis. I kept telling everybody, no, gold is so pessimistic that, you know, I've never seen anything like it. I've looked and looked and looked. I've never seen anything this pessimistic. This sucker got nowhere to go but up. Everybody sold it. That's it. That's it. Look how long it's traded in this tiny little 10-cent range. Decades. This sucker gonna explode. Buy, all the way up to 350 and then just hold it. And then I told them to sell when it's hit 1400 while it goes up to 1800. And then, you know, at least get your money out of it that you put in. Then you let your profits ride. You know, that's how that works. So that's what I was telling people to do in my market analysis, you know, and you can see these things coming around and they're just pointing out holes, and a good trader will just sit back and look at it, you know, and say, oh, look, and now we're social, so, you know, we're neurons. We're inside another man's head. Neurons are social. Constantly give me attention. Come on, let's make a group. Yeah. Oh, let's make a club. Let's make an institution. You know, yay, us. But it's the thinking that you can control other people, or, you know, through money, and you can shape how you want it to be through money. And investing, and what ends up happening is those people lose their money, or they get out, you know, and those things collapse. I've seen it a million times. You know, they think they're doing good, and all that happens is, you know, they fall apart. You know, WeWork's been around forever, okay, and it's already gone bankrupt. Okay, and there's other ones like them. You know, and that Beyond Meat, you don't have enough vegetarians in the world for that to be hanging around up there. Yeah, I don't think so. You know, it's just a pendulum, you know, going that way too far towards the few. And now it's coming back this way towards the many. And you'll just have to get over it. We love our beef. You know, it's okay. It's okay to have people who eat beef and fish and shrimp, chicken. It's okay to have people who eat spinach and lettuce and cucumbers and peas and carrots and broccoli. It's all delicious. Okay, it's all delicious. But you're supposed to balance. You're not supposed to eat too much of one and none of the other. You have to balance. And this is the beauty of trade. You know, you have to have a buy and you have to have a sell for it to balance. Okay, and it's a win-win for all. You bought at the price you wanted and you sold at the price you wanted or when you wanted, so you wouldn't feel any more pain and suffering. You know, both ways. So it was your choice. You did it. You know, nobody can say they twisted your arm and made you do it. No, no, you did it. And it's just part of learning. And you can learn it in anything. Like the last video was focusing on sports and gaming. You know, you're doing the same thing here. You're prepping yourself. You're, cooking. They call that mise en place. Get all your tools together, and then here you go. You're going into your day. It's going to be a great day. I'm going to have a great idea today on what to try to do. You know, because that's what you love to do. Now, I never really loved to do it. I love to watch the people. I love to watch the whole flow of it, you know. And I love to telling people, look at this, look at this, you know. And what they did with that information was up to them. And they were told that, you know, but that's what I was pointing out. Look at this hole, look at this, look at this, look at this, you know. When everybody thinks it can always go up and will never go down again, it's going to go down. Buy put. And that was so obvious in 2008. They were coming out saying the same damn thing. You know, it's a new paradigm. Really? In 2007, rather, they said that. Bam! Buy put. You know, nobody really thought it would go that far. You know, it was spiraling out of control. There was panic going on. And the panic had to stop. And quite frankly, the Bush administration did do a good job, but they were strong-arming people to do it. And that ain't cool. You're supposed to get them all together and say, here's the deal. What are we going to do? You know, get those creative minds going, not just the ones that hang around you. You know, that's the point. We're in this together. Okay? Let's all come together and figure out a better way. This is what's happening. This is the hope, you know. And the 2008 mess, you know, don't get me going on how that happened. But there was an obvious hole, and there was a way to fix it, and it was not taken. And they let it fall. And they wanted to take out Lehman Brothers. They were done with Lehman Brothers as a Federal Reserve Bank, and it had gotten itself in trouble, and it was looking for a handout, and they didn't get it. So what ended up happening was everybody had to get one. Okay. Because we're all interconnected like that. We're all interconnected. And when someone hurts the other side, then, you know, there's a backlash. But this was just pure, you know, devil's advocate working in Gamestop. So if you're in it, I suggest you sell and get out and make a nice little profit there on your stock if you have any. You know, and otherwise, you know, just sit back and enjoy the show. It's going to go below 20, that's for sure. You know, when? I don't know. After they find enough stock to buy it back. Balance it back out. Okay, and that's what's going on there. And that's not going to last forever. You watch. GameStop will offer a secondary. There's already been talk about it. And that means they'll issue out more stock. And then there'll be plenty of stock. So, and then it'll go, beep, 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 beep. We're going to issue out, you know, 1,000,000 shares at $20. Watch that sucker go down. So I hope this helps. Blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you for being you.
You do this to us after everything we've done for you.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you all in the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it. I won.
I lost. $1.
Thank you, Lewis.
After you.
Certainly.